Games, boards games, tabletop gaming live, boards games. I came and I didn't drive. I am here in Manchester, and it is, I guess, a pleasure to be here inside the hall, looking around at this hall. Here the lights are relatively bright. Upstairs it's more similar to night. Board games and tabletop gaming live, it's what we're talking about. Tabletop gaming live, and I'm not going to shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. 10 a.m. is UK time for Busy Beats and Board Game Blether. And as you can see, I am. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Ben.
I am here with Jack, and at Tabletop Gaming Live, I'll be doing a quick wander. But first, I wanted to ask you recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. What have been some of your recent highlights of yesterday? How was the day?
Yesterday was very busy.
Was it?
So
I saw that, you make Karuka, which is a flicking game. So you've got to, if you don't mind me breaking.
No, go ahead.
So I flick the white disc at the red to break. Is that right?
That's to break them up. Yeah.
And then I do that, and that's a terrible
shot.
Because that was the whites going in.
Shots to me now already. So
And it's basically snooker, but with flicking, without the pins, and you can see that the boards spin. So it's kind of like, obviously, if people are familiar with tabletop, crokinole,
it's in that family of flicking games.
Yes, exactly.
Crokinole and Carom, which is the Indian game that inspired it, which is sort of an early version of pool. Really.
It's very much its own thing, and you've had a lot of success here in the. Sorry, I hope you don't mind me coming a little bit closer.
Yeah.
It's very much its own thing, and it seems to have got a bit of a following here in the UK.
It has, and in the States, they seem to be picking it up.
Congratulations.
Less so in Europe. Because they have to pay quite a lot of duty in Europe.
So how does it get over to the States? Do you have someone else manufacturing it?
No, we're just shipping it. But
that must cost a fortune.
It's quite expensive for them, but one of our boards shipped to the States is no more than a crokinole board shipped from Canada to the States. So it's in the same price bracket as a high quality crokinole board shipped to the States. So we've sort of dropped on there a bit.
Yeah.
And the pool version is a little bit cheaper, and because it's smaller, it's a bit cheaper to ship. So.
And what's the main difference between the pool version and the snooker version? I mean, is it just that it's a bit smaller? I see the table's a bit smaller, there's fewer things.
It's the same mechanics as the snooker version, but it's just basically an American pool version. And it just looks quite cute because the counters sort of mimic the American pool counters.
Congratulations. It feels like I don't want to just talk about Karuka, as exciting as it is, and congratulations on all the success. Talking about yesterday, Tabletop Gaming Live, you've had a fairly consistent queue of people waiting to play your free boards, it seems like.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
And what would you say are the three top moments from being here?
From sitting here playing it?
Because from yesterday. Any top moments from your day?
Well, having time to nip outside to have something to eat. Oh, and my nephew and my sister came yesterday.
Lovely.
And we haven't seen them for a long time, so that was nice to see them. And had a good walk around with them, and the nephew sort of enjoyed a lot of the other. He's not really much of a fan of my game, unfortunately, but he did enjoy all walking around and having a go at a load of the other stuff around the hall. But it was quite a brief, because like I say, we were just sort of queuing up here yesterday, and we didn't really have much time to get away. It's just playing all day.
It feels like in a place where there's not that many punters, you've got a visual spectacle this just really looks really cool. And hello, Josie. Hello, Time Roller. It's lovely to see you. And this looks really cool. People are attracted. There's a lot of clacking. You know immediately what you've got to do. And so it feels like you've had a brilliant day. Is there anything else you'd like to say to folk at home before I say goodbye to you?
Well, rather than any sort of blatant self-promotion.
Well, yeah, obviously we've already said this is a cool game and go and check it out. But beyond that, is there anything else you'd like to say about Tabletop Gaming Live, about yourself?
It's been an interesting journey for us because we're not really, previously, we're never games people until we came up with this. So we've sort of immersed ourselves in a whole new world and meeting a whole new bunch of people, which is a very nice experience. And, you know, I sort of encourage more people to come and see what the gaming world has to offer.
So more people to come into whatever convention might be
These
close
kind
to
of
them.
events,
It's a great thing. So thank you so much, and thank you for the chat.
That's, you're welcome.
And I'm going to wander around, and bye, Jack.
See you later.
So, bye-bye. And Josie says, seeing the con makes me really miss it. And, whoops. So my own recent highlight, oops, I need to get this. I do apologize for the whole unprofessionalism. That's what you get when you try to do a live stream at the con. So here, friend Mark is doing Bounty Hunters, which is a game about collecting money to buy a horse. And we've got so many people. We've got some people who, interestingly, it is fairly quiet. The doors have officially opened. So there are hunters, although as you can see, there's not that many people in here. At least someone's packed up here. We've got Tabletop Workshop, Paul from Making Moon Towers and Hopper's Ladder. Hey, hello. Hello everyone. And Swat, where is Swat?
He's away this weekend. It's just me repping the
Fair enough. Might be back, and some folk are just not here yet. Asmodee obviously having the biggest area, as you might expect. Hello, Robert. Congratulations on your, I guess, your everything.
Hello, Twitch people. Hello.
So that's friend of the show, starts player Robert. We've got Asmodee stuff here, Zatu selling stuff there, people doing miniaturesy stuff there. Hello. It was a good day yesterday. I spent most of the day wandering around and just chatting, and I played a few games, but the bulk of it was just kind of, it is really quiet. I agree. I'm glad I'm not here as an exhibitor, but I'm very happy to be here as a punter. It's very easy to walk around, I'll say that. If you want to play a game, you can probably play whatever you want to play. And this is the bar area where people might buy drinks potentially. There's the Librium folks over there. There's Mark McKinnon of Wreck and Ruin fame. And the Mark's helpers. Are you all coming big? And there's Descent Games. Hello, Mill, and everyone else. Oh, hello, Sam. That's for the library's characters and the monsters and stuff, and lovely artwork from Sam. And all sorts of things. And I played. Hello. This is Decking games. This is more themed. I'm going to say whimsical, but I wouldn't say it's whimsical because it's still kind of set in a sort of children's TV show sort of reality. It's your body has been stolen by people who want to do experiments on it. What the hell? It is kind of comically evil people, but then someone who's repentant and they want to give you all these clues. So here, trees and windows light the way, but the darkness ends it, and you've got to work hard to go forwards. I'm not going to give any more spoilers, but this puzzle, it did stop me for a while, right? It was a few minutes.
A few minutes, yeah.
And then I
got
got about to 5 puzzles, I think I managed to solve, and then the 6th one I was like, okay, I'm going to stop here. But it was really nice and pleasant to play, and all the best with finishing it off.
Thanks very much, Baz.
Cheers. And there's, where am I? How large is it? Do you know how large it is? Someone's asking. Yeah, I mean, I think that you could probably find out information on the internet easier than I can. I'm going to say at this point. Or do you mean physically? Physically, there's about 6 rooms, 1 big room and 5 small rooms. So there's Triple Ace Games. Hello, Alan. Do you want to be on my stream for a minute? There's Alan. This is regular guest. And we've got Kingmaker. You can see it. It's not obviously the finished thing, because clearly the final boards would not be made out of paper. That would be yes. But you need to say these things sometimes, right?
Yes.
Because you know, Stigmaier or Stonemaier games, they actually started printing just a prototype on all their prototype things when they went to conventions. Because they had people with scythes saying, oh, is this the final game? And then they had to keep repeating, this is just a prototype, because it looked too good.
Yes.
Because people were thinking, oh, this is a final quality.
First coffee of the day.
I hope you enjoy it. But do you have any highlights from the past day that you want to share from the convention? How has it been for you?
Well, for us, it's been good. We've actually got a nice light part of the convention, so it's been quite good. We've had a lot of interest in Kingmaker, huge interest in Kingmaker. It was supposed to be on Kickstarter at the convention, but we delayed it till the 26th of September. So the
Out of
respect for Steve. Yeah. But this will be.
And I'm just panning over this.
Our pocket campaigns. And I'm really pleased to say, one of the highlights for me is that the most popular game on our stand has been March of Progress.
It's
One I designed.
March of Progress is really cool, and you can see Alan Paul there. And Dave Mortimer and Alan Paul. Dave Mortimer, Cousins War. And I'm not sure if there's any truth in this, but I feel like Cousins War came from a similar time when David was doing the microfilms. Was that like from
it was an earlier game. This was our first pocket campaign.
Yes.
So it was a while ago.
But like, was it from a similar brainwave kind of, or is there not any because the commonality of thought really? It might have just been around the same time.
I think it was around the same time. Yes.
But yes,
it's been good. We've had a lot of people here. It's been very good for us.
Excellent. Would you come again?
We will have to debate that. Depends on the venue, really.
Okay.
But I think the people here have been fabulous. That's been the main thing that we've got.
Well,
a lot of interest. It's been great.
I hope that today is decent for you. It looks quite a bit quieter than yesterday so far.
But then again, it is only 9:30.
No, it's gone 10.
It's gone 10. Oh, sorry, 10.
Yes.
Of course, I'm an hour out.
But when I walked up, there was a bit of a queue, but I managed to sneak in.
Good.
Bit few to knowing people and having been given an exhibitor. It's amazing. I'm so happy that I get an exhibitor of Essen as well. I've wrangled one.
Yes.
But anyway, enough of that. I should go and show people. Time Roller asks, did they do Maquis?
Pardon?
Maquis, I don't know if you know that game.
I don't know that game. No, I don't know that game.
Sorry about that. But we will carry on.
Later.
And it's lovely to see you, Charlie. Don't worry, you're not on camera. It's pointing this way. Hiya, how are you? Do you want to join me on my... This is Jenny Harmon. I will come up and see you very quickly.
Excellent.
And I've got all sorts of RPGs here. And Savage Union, Anna Blackwell, RPGs. Let's all, hello, I see You've got beautiful wooden stuff that people are allowed to touch.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's this? Is this kind of feeling the different felts?
Yeah, I've all the different choices you can
I'm just kind of doing that for the sensory pleasure.
have. Yeah, that's what it's there for.
Oh, that feels very different. Ooh, I can smell cherry just as soon as I start rubbing it. That's amazing. Like, oh, that's got a nice texture. Don't know how much enjoyable that is for people to listen to me comment. Like the walnut's definitely the smoothest finish. It feels like.
Yeah, that's our most popular.
I feel like oak feels the most like wood.
Mm.
Like maple feels like sort of modern wood should feel.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Ash has a homely feel, and I would go with cherry. Is my personal choice. If you wondered, and there's lots of beautiful boxes like this one. You can see it's a little bit darker in this room than the previous one. Josie says the purple is lovely. And we've got more RPG stuff. All sorts of beautiful things to check out. Little maps and Colossal. There's the artist designer. And you can see, yes, this is sort of what the convention is like right now. It does feel a bit still sleepy for a Sunday. We've got All or Nothing there. We've got, we did have the Stone Swords games there, but they decided to pack up. I'm definitely coming back to check out this game. Let me. So this is a game about defusing bombs after war. I've not played it yet, but I'm going to come back later. It sounds really cool, and I like how it's kind of got an anti-violence kind of sentiment. I assume that's carries on. This is Faye.
Hello. Our game of Diffuse is about rebuilding a city to its former glory after the war, and it's your job to go in with a team of bomb disposal experts and get rid of any bombs left from the war and rebuild the city. So you'll be aiming to build things like libraries, a new modern workforce, and then whoever completes all their buildings quickest finishes the game, and you count up the points of what buildings you have standing.
That sounds really cool, and I said I would come back yesterday, but I didn't even finish wandering around because I got embroiled. Yes, as a, it's not UK Games Expo obviously, but if you actually stop and have a quick 2-minute chat with everyone, it's going to take you more than a day, especially if you get embroiled in a couple of conversations. So, up at the top, I've got one more room to still see, but nice. I will be back later.
Yeah, sure.
See you later, Faye. And we've got Naylor Games being represented, Moonstone. We've got, this is the fourth room that I will show you. So here's a cloakroom. I might as well show you the outside. So you can hear it's kind of quite echoey. Here outside, which is also the exhibitor entrance, they are going to open up food. I mean, I guess some of the food is already open. Food vans, that's what's going on here. The tacos were good. I may or may not have something else. Hello, James. And now coming back in. There's, exhibitors showing off here. It's not so much game designers and game publishers, but more artists and beautiful wee things that you can check out. And here you can get this amazing jewelry. So I don't know let's see there. So there's these tiny little D20s, and you choose your D20, then you put it into one of these cages, or you can choose a normal size D20, put it in there, then you choose one of them, then it makes it into a necklace, like one of these. Hello. And I was pondering that, and there's the Acroma people, and I'll go back and show you the upstairs now. So there, I think that's again for morning. Hello, hope you're generally well. I will see you upstairs, Tom. Oops, I need to unclip my phone. As a punter, there is a lot to see. As a punter, I am enjoying it there. I'm happy to wander around. I'm happy to have conversations with folk, and I don't feel like I'm getting in the way of delaying people. Like, it's not super busy, but it's about your expectations. Do you expect this to be a super busy selling con? Because there has to be a certain level of busyness for it to be worth it for exhibitors. And is there that level of busyness? I'm not sure. Here is the open gaming area. And there is Pablo. Hello, Pablo.
Hey, Baz. How you doing?
Hello, are you happy to be on camera?
All good.
Hello. How was the first day for you?
Pretty good. It's pretty good. We've got a lot of games out. A lot of
You
people
got
playing.
finding on
The whole
meeting as
area was
well.
Let me try to get it. I'll just come and chat to you.
hello. Yeah, it was pretty good. We had a lot of people gaming. The whole every table was full of people. Our last holdouts didn't leave until 25 past 11.
Did you feel like there should have been a few more tables?
Absolutely. But there's more tables, more
But
chairs.
ultimately, isn't that just true of every single convention, that you're going to run out of tables? Like it happens at UK Games Expo.
Yeah, it probably is. It's just especially here, there's the space for like at least a few more tables that won't make it too cramped. So I think that a few more tables would go down real well.
As people have noted, the venue is primarily a gig venue, and it feels like it's much more suitable for that purpose, with the lighting and with the space. But I know some people enjoy the kind of nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
I personally do prefer wandering through and being able to see the other side of a big space, but that's my personal preference. Do you have, I mean, obviously you're here from Dungeons and Dragons, and do you want to talk?
Yeah, can do. So we are dungeonsandflagons.co.uk. You can also find us on Facebook under Dungeons and Flagons Track Group and Dungeons and Flagons Events. We also do bi-monthly all-day events.
And you are basically a helper for Zoe and James.
Yes, so I'm just volunteering to help. It's James.
But even there, like here specifically, all three of you, like James isn't getting paid anything for this. They're volunteering to bring over the games. They've basically donated their time, they've donated the use of their library to the place, and it's, hopefully people appreciate that.
Hopefully, yeah. We've had a lot of good feedback. A lot of people have been like, oh, this is such a good idea. And it's really gone down quite well. So, and I hope it brings a lot of exposure to James and Tommy's work, because they've worked so hard on this business and keeping it afloat.
And I'm wandering around Tabletop Gaming Live just now. So do you have anything overall you'd like to say about the event in terms of how it's been, how it's going, anything that you've particularly enjoyed, anything you'd like to see changed?
I've quite enjoyed the traders' halls and stuff downstairs. That's been quite nice. There's been enough room, but I've only ever been to one other convention myself, so this is my second ever convention.
Which one?
I went to UK Games Expo.
2022? Okay, awesome.
So it's notably different to that, but I think that's the big one. So I don't think it's fair to compare, especially when that's my only experience.
It's absolutely fair.
But it's been good. I like the main hall and the fact that I could walk around and see all the Asmodee.
As a punter, again, people complain about it being quiet, and as an exhibitor, I totally get that, and that's why I haven't come as an exhibitor. But as a punter, I love it. I love being able to wander around and know that I'm going to be able to jump into games and stuff.
Yeah, it was good. Like it's a very similar experience, but a little bit smaller than games like the UK Games Expo. So like there was still game demos available.
Absolutely, there's still plenty to see.
So yeah, there's still stuff to do. I've seen some of the same people that I saw at Games Expo here. I'm like, oh, that's so good. You're still going. Like it's working. So that's made me real happy.
Well, thank you for the chat. I'm
No,
going to
very
carry on wandering and see you later.
Have fun.
So, obviously, if any of you have any questions for the peeps, then feel free to throw them in. This is like where the social game, the social deduction gaming, I should say, mainly Blood on the Clock Tower and their own version of Werewolf. And here's another bar. Yeah, now this is where there's a bit of a pungent smell. Oh, I didn't realize this was happening. And there's James Wallace. Do you mind me saying hello to you on camera? Okay, here is James Wallace running another game design masterclass.
Lovely to
Are
see
you all set up? Are you all ready? Do you have a minute or not really?
LibreOffice has crashed on me, so I'm just checking my slides are all still there.
Well, I'll leave you to it.
Brilliant. Just to say, for anyone who has done the masterclass before, this is a new one. This is a level 2 masterclass for people who have designed a bit or two. I will be touring this around over the next few months if anyone's interested.
Awesome.
Thank you
And
to plug that.
well, have a lovely tabletop gaming live.
You too.
Bye-bye. So I'm going to keep wandering around. And this is a bit more open gaming space. And we've got some lovely designs from one of the minds behind the designs this year. Hello. Oh, sorry, it's those two. Oh, you are just a helper. Thanks for setting me right. Hiya, are you happy to be on camera for a moment?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So this is basically your baby, and
Yes.
like you and your business partner.
It's me and my husband.
Okay.
So my husband and I set it up a few years ago. It started off kind of a hobby because we love board games, and we just found that at Christmas, birthdays, we wanted to buy each other kind of presents related to board games that weren't board games, and there just wasn't stuff out there, so we created our own stuff. So we have like posters, we
You've got
have
these lovely things where you can see some of them are homages to particular games, which is super cool. It does remind me very series. I don't know if that was lots of the inspiration. As you told me, all of them have been authorized. So like Frank West will have seen and I'm sure appreciated and enjoyed all of these things.
yes, yeah, he's approved of all.
And-
Tabletop Tycoon.
Also at the start, we've got some things based on particular genres. So if you really love cooperative or worker placement games, or Euro games, or roll and write, or 4X games, or tabletop RPGs, then you can display your love on the wall.
Exactly. That's the exact.
How has tabletop gaming live been for you as a convention?
It's been really good. This is our first one, so we didn't know what to expect.
As in your first convention?
Yeah, as exhibitors, yeah. So, and we didn't know what to expect, and it's been great. We have met like some lovely people. It's been amazing talking to people. We've had people who have already known us and got things from our website and found us before, and then people who have shown a lot of interest in the art and hopefully will become customers and think of us at
Awesome.
Christmas time for presents.
And are you based in Manchester?
No, we're based in Brighton.
So you had a long trip.
Yes.
Are you
yes.
going to be coming up to Dragonmeet, I guess, because that's a wee bit closer?
Yeah, we haven't planned to, and we're seeing kind of how it goes here, and then thinking about what conventions we might go to next.
That makes a lot of sense. And if people want to check you out, where should they find you?
So we're in Shedef, in Bot 60.
No, and people watching this are probably
sorry,
on the
I see.
internet.
So we are Maple Design. We've got 20% off all weekend on the online store.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much.
That is some lovely stuff. And you've got, of course, Geek and Son. Everyone must know lovely things. tables. Got these beautifully graphic design stuff. Hello, are you the graphic designer behind these? I was saying that this is, I love the colours that you used, and actually, now I'm talking about it, it reminds me of Shem Phillips' Starfall games, where for each of the trilogies, they've got like a cohesive colour scheme. I mean, I think it works really well for your branding. And these are beginners campaigns for adventures for level 1, 2, and 3, you said?
That's
and
it, yeah, for D&D 5e. Yeah.
And how's tabletop gaming life been going for you?
It's been really good, thank you for asking. Yeah. Met loads of cool people so far. Yeah.
Awesome.
We even had a couple of hours sleep.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like spirits and energies are high, and I wish you all the best for the Sunday.
Thank you. Have a good day.
See you soon. And here is the stand for EA Games, where Andrew and Jenny Harmon should be, but because it is so quiet, people are taking the opportunity to wander around a wee bit. Here, I didn't manage to get here yesterday, so I am exploring it at the same time as you. Modular worlds with some gorgeous miniatures. Love that. Dragons, some beautiful stuff. And is that my friend Lawrence from Wotan Games? Hello, Lawrence.
How are you?
I am generally well. How has Saturday been for you at Tabletop Gaming Live?
Actually, it wasn't too bad. I mean, we were a little concerned to start off with because it's quite dark here. And the lemony lung scrub is, taking its toll.
For those who don't know, there was lots of cleaning products in the air.
Yeah, to start off with. And but there was a steady stream of people, very different people from the other markets we got. Lots of demos, lots of sales, very happy.
I know this isn't statistically relevant, but out of a poll of 6 people who were in the queue with me yesterday,
Right.
5 of them have never been to a convention before.
Ah, see?
So
That's
lots of new-time gamers.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and literally had a family come who'd only ever played traditional game of Go, and that was basically it. We never played, and they were quite
The
shy.
ancient game of Go.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
They were quite shy. And it was like, no, come and try a game. And it was like, oh, we don't really. We've only just first convention, and they were lovely.
That's beautiful because as an exhibitor, you really want to encourage everyone to just come over and try the games.
Yes.
But so many people, especially if it's your first ever time at a convention, I would say don't be shy. Just we love
people.
We love sharing.
That's why
our
we're
games.
why we're in this industry.
Presumably you're making your games for the same reason I am, which is to facilitate good times and fun.
Joy. It's to bring joy.
And if you could pick like 1 or 2 or 3 highlights, if you must.
Oh, cherry pick. I suppose the 2 that we're working on is War of the Nine Realms, which is Ragnarok, which is all about the Nordic end of the world, and Brexit, which needs no other explanation. It's a very nice light trading game. It's a nice light trading game. It's good fun. People go, oh no, not that, because of the subject, but then they give it a bash. We spent 350 million developing this game. You can't make it up.
As a nation.
Well, it's got a playing time of 15 minutes to 2 years, may never end. But actually, it plays in around 25 minutes, so it's good fun.
Okay. Well, it's lovely to see you, Lawrence, as always. All the best for the rest of the day.
Take care.
And here, more pretty things. If you want to come and shop for pretty things, people here have you covered. There's a lot of 3D printed stuff, imagery, dice, and a lot of super shiny, beautiful works here. And wandering around, there is Tom.
Hey Buzz, how you doing? Hello.
Hello, what's been your highlights of Tabletop Gaming Live Saturday?
We had some really nice people come over yesterday on a demo table, and everyone was, in good spirits.
Excellent.
Excited. There's a lot of things here to see, so I think there's something for everyone. So everyone was there really nice about it and excited.
How's that Sunday shaping up for you so far?
It's obviously upstairs. It's quite quiet, and we'll see. The venue's so big, it kind of takes a bit of time for people to fill upstairs and stuff. So we'll see if people are coming up here. I also heard that they haven't got great accessibility for the upstairs. It seems.
You're having to.
For people with wheelchairs and stuff like that. Apparently there is an access up here, which obviously isn't.
There is a mechanism to get people upstairs, but the lift is broken, so having to be reliant on someone to come up with a big contraption to bring your thing upstairs.
Just because you want to go explore.
It feels like maybe that's enough to say to someone, no, I don't want to encumber someone else. You want to be self-reliant somewhat.
Yeah, definitely. So, but overall, it's been a really nice event, and one of the favourite things is seeing people such as yourself and the other exhibitors, and seeing part of the community. There's a lot of familiar faces. So it's nice to see a lot of people again.
And have you had any personal lessons in terms of your demos, or have you improved anything?
I find that this time round I've tried to make them a bit more concise, because when you do demos, what I used to do was have if we got into it, it was like, right, we're going to go for the full game, and that was really exciting, but it meant that essentially we were always rammed, and we were always it was hard to get space in. So I've tried to make it a bit smaller and try and do a bit more kind of concise demos where we still get into it, but there's more slots for people. So
awesome.
That's what I've learned from demoing the last 6
So
events.
how long is a demo of this game now?
So I allow 45 minutes, but that's basically 5 minutes to each, 10 minutes to each, and then after introductions, get into people, and then after that it can be very quick. If it's a 2-player game, it can go much quicker than that, but the space is there in case we do a 5-player or 6-player.
Okay. And do you sign people up for the slots for?
Yeah. So that's something that we've always been doing, is doing demo slots where people can sign up in advance, because a lot of times people tend. I'll cover this up for GDPR, but
thank you.
So as you can see, Sunday is a bit quiet.
Trying to get to that in the light. Now, you've got someone.
Yeah, we've got Daniel at 11:30. I'm looking forward to that. A lot of the people we've had at this event has been people who just kind of come up and play it, basically.
Game where it is beautiful. I love the lore behind these different factions that you've got. The cults of people who know that are inside the game, and the cults of the cat people and all that.
Yeah, that's the Sears, who people have lovingly started calling them the Cherry Bakewell clan, because they've got.
Can't really see that. Let me try and turn.
Because they've got what looks like a cherry bakewell on the back. It's not what's supposed to be, but people have started, kind of calling them the Cherry Bakewells and stuff.
I totally see that.
People see that.
Yeah, I totally see that. That's awesome.
But are you doing any gaming today, or are you just gonna?
I'm wandering around first, and then I'll see what I'm up to. I'm not sure. I'll see how it goes. But it's lovely to see you, Tom. Stay funky.
Stay funky. See you later.
Bye bye. So, carrying on around. Stuff over here. Hello. There's the Fiendborn peeps who did Escape the Dark Castle and Escape the Dark Sector, and there's Funko Games, and this big section is from my friends at Hachette UK. Bye Josie, I hope you have a wonderful day. So there's Acropolis, or a poster for Acropolis, which is a game that I played for the first time last night. And here is a giant panda, Andrew, and it is Flavien Loisier, the person responsible for all this mess.
Creative, yeah.
I did actually sit down and play actually 3 of your games. When I say your games, the games that you're not your designs, not your publisher, the games that you're selling to shops. So I played Quixo, which for people who don't know, I love abstract strategy games. This is a nice twist on the 5 in a row, because when you're moving things,
You slide
Exactly. So now, if if I was, whoops, I wouldn't be doing that. We can maybe play a very quick game. I will be crosses and I will go there. And now Flavian is probably going to. See, I can't go here, which is interesting because unless no, can I just do that? And I mean, I'm not saying can I, as in, am I allowed to? I'm thinking, oh, what's the possibilities? And this is the thing, like that's now in the way, but even though it's blocked, it's only a temporary block because all of these things are sliding. And I'm thinking, okay, how do I get out of this situation? And now maybe I'm thinking about this row, maybe I'm wanting to make sure that Flavian doesn't get this row, maybe I'm thinking about this way. I don't think we're going to win with this on camera, but how has the convention been for you? What would you say are
super busy. Yesterday has been super good with lively people coming, enjoying themselves, that which is the key, in fact. See people smiling, and have a big panda helps a lot to draw kids in as well. So yeah, and usually when they come in, they've stayed for two. Oh, let's do a third game, a fourth. So that was good.
it's one of the advantages of having, how many games do you have on demo here?
16.
1-6. And how many games are you actually distributing?
96.
96 games you're distributing. So you've picked the 16 games that you think best represent all the companies and that you think will be best for tabletop gaming.
And the newest as well. So what people want to play. Usually people are attracted. Want to see what's new.
But
Obviously,
then there's some really old classics like Quarto and Corridor. How old is that? It's like decades?
30 years old for those both.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But
They're still big sellers.
they are big sellers, and they've never been properly pushed in the UK. So for me, who grew up with them, it's like, and they don't take so much space. So, and since it's 3 minutes, it's super dynamic.
And you see this, and then you kind of want to get involved because I was telling someone, I mean, sure, we've got video games, but even though this could be a video game, there's something tactile about me going, okay, I'll do that. And, hey, watch out, or I might get 5 there, and I feel, haha. But, so maybe I will do this. But we also played, I played Turtle Splash, which is very interesting dexterity memory game. It's not my kind of game. I'm going to very quickly show you one. But Turtle Splash is, oh my gosh, you've got these as well, just randomly. But it's a fantastic game. I thought, just this bit is interesting. You reveal things, you're trying to move along these tracks, and if you find the correct thing, so when you don't find the correct thing, you need to remember where it is so that you can move up the track faster later. I was really good at that bit. But then the twist is, you're also flicking this, so you want to get it to, if you flick it into that, that's 3 points. You get to flick over 3 things. If it's there, it's 2 points. If it's like there, it's still 1 point. And this is, is this new for this year?
Yeah, just released yesterday.
Literally yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the. What
I
about the French release? Was it to?
French release was like 6 months ago.
Okay.
But here I received the stock on Thursday in the warehouse.
And is this the first time it's been in English?
Yeah.
So it's not in
And
the
it's,
USA yet.
US has the release as well this week.
Okay, amazing. So this is going to be something that you can check out. I think that if you're in the market for something with your smaller kids, maybe something which is a bit lighter, family.
5 to 9.
Yeah, 5 to 9 years, it says. I think I would agree with that. I think that by the time you're an adult, you're probably a little bit outgrown it. You want to disagree.
No, we had reviewers saying that it's perfect between adults at the end of the evening while a bit drunk. That was the game they pulled out.
Okay, well, as you can hear, some people are happy to play it as adults, and I think that's always the case with a good children's game. I think that, like a lot of ABBA games, I will be happy to play it occasionally. If you brought it out in, one time when we are in the pub together, I'm not going to complain, but it's not my go-to game.
No.
But absolutely, if I was playing it with my nieces, I would imagine enjoying this over and over. And is there anything that what have been your highlights, and is there anything that you would like to change?
For us, it's Acropolis.
There, big banner. And I played it last night. Honestly, it's super good. I'm just looking to see if there's something that I can film without showing their faces, obviously. I'll just show very quickly. These are some of the tiles, and you're making your own city. Each of the... don't worry, I'm not going to show your faces. Each of the tiles scores in its own way. So there's 5 different possibilities. One for having things in a cluster. Yellows, you need to have them far apart. Reds, you need to have them on the edge. Purples, you need to have them in the middle. Greens, you just score for being there. And it's all the possibilities that make sense. And you're collecting these things. There's a nice simple drafting to it. You're covering but then the covering. This is where things get interesting. Yeah. Where anything on the second level scores double.
Twice.
Anything on the third level scores 3 times, and so forth. And this is I honestly think it would be a fine game without that. Like, it would be a bit bland, but it would be okay. Like, it would work fine, right?
Yeah.
But like with that, that's just a twist that's elevated.
Yes. And from a design point of view,
I heard that you are very good at games. Your co-workers have been telling me that you repeatedly beat everyone. I should not feel. So they said, do not expect to ever beat Flavian. That's the reputation you have.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Apparently, you win every game of Acropolis.
I have a good win rate, let's say.
You play it a lot, you know it well.
Oh yeah, I've played 60 times. When we received the prototype, we've played it with the family and friends, all the close friends. We were playing it like up to twice a day.
Wow.
We've played it like 50, 60 times, just the prototype.
What would you say is the minimum number of, what is the game out of all of yours that you've played the least, out of all 96? Would it be one of the latest ones, like Turtle Splash?
No, I have signed games with backstabbing, like Helapagos, and I don't like that in games. Me as a gamer, so I don't play them.
So you signed Helapagos and you never played it?
I play them, even if I don't like it, I will still play it 4 or 5 times.
Okay, so you play everything at least 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
Okay, but like, honestly, I could sort of understand either stance, because in one stance it's like, no, I just watch my friends play it and they tell me how good it is or whatever.
I recognize the quality, but I want to feel it.
Let me do it this way, because that way it's better light.
I want to feel the game and be able to talk about it.
People have complained about the lighting. Yeah. Do you think that that's a real issue, or do you think it's just meh? It doesn't really matter.
It has been an issue, but less than what I thought. I was afraid that to play a big game like Iki or Galileo Project,
Yep.
so the big Euros, that will barely be possible. But in fact, people have enjoyed themselves, so that's most important.
Well, thank you so much for the chat.
Thank you.
It's always good to see you, and stay funky, and I hope you have a good Sunday.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you. And yes, you can see lovely stuff. And there is the Fanboy Free stand, where Fanboy Free. Hello, Jess. Are you happy to be on camera? Where Fanboy Free is selling stuff, if you can see that. It's a bit. Can I come over and have a quick minute chat?
We have torches.
So this is the light of a mobile phone that you see moving around. I see there's what? That's a trans flag, a pride flag, and what's the one on the?
It is a lesbian, community lesbian.
Okay, that's really cool. And how has the Saturday been at Tabletop Gaming Live for you?
The Saturday was really good. It was a bit quiet in the morning, but then once people came upstairs, it got a lot busier. Other headset things were really popular as well, and then people came over to us to buy them, which was lovely. But overall, people had really good feedback. Obviously, we've currently got the fairy lights this time and stuff for a bit more of a sparkle, but overall, positive experience.
And sorry, do you mind being on camera? Is that fine? Yeah. So I hope that you have a good Sunday. Do you think that Fanboy Free will be here again next year?
Probably will be, yes.
And for those who don't know, Fanboy Free, one of the bigger stores in the UK, one of the best for sure, and based in Manchester, and there's the owner, Dave Salisbury. Am I happy to? Hey, Dave. And
We're from Piccadilly Gardens. We are on Hilton Street, number 25. We have a nice big sign, giant windows outside. We also have board gaming space, over 500 board games to choose to play with, as well as a cafe that sells drinks and snacks.
And so if I want to pop in on Tuesday before I take my train home,
Yes.
What's the charge to sit down and peruse
So,
the games?
if you wanted to play the game, it's £3 an adult or £1 a child, and you can stay and play for the moment you come in, straight to when we close, which is 10 p.m. And then if you buy a board game that day or a board game expansion, we take that money off the
Nice.
price of the board game as well, so then you're gaming for free.
And what's the best thing I can put in my mouth in Fanboy Free?
Oh, wow.
I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm thinking of something that's not too calorific, not like a milkshake or chocolate bar or something just sugary.
So
I want something with some nutritional value, but something that might be potentially refreshing, something tasty, but without being terrible for you.
So, healthier options, we do oat and yogurt pots, we have fruit pots, we have more nutritious and healthier snack bars rather than just having chocolate.
Okay.
We also offer a wide range of fizzy, non-sugar drinks that also don't have the bad sparkles in them as well. And we also offer smoothies as well, which is just pure fruit and apple juices. So there's quite a few options for you that are not just sugar.
And that's oats pots, it's like oats and yogurt.
It's got really nice, it's like got oats in it, it's got fruit in it, and then it comes with a separate yogurt pot that you then pour in.
Okay.
So you can then have it more like a yogurty cereal almost, or you can keep them separate.
That sounds nice. It's like an all-day breakfast. Lovely to see you, Jess, and I'll come round in a wee bit after I finish. Bye for now. So, wandering around, this is now the 6th room. We can see there's an area where they set aside stuff. So, I guess this is an extra table of Hachette Games UK. I didn't notice that. Hello, Matt. Are you happy to be on my show
Absolutely.
for a minute? This is Karen, Matt's partner. And did Ray? Yeah, sorry. Ray fancy coming or not really?
I couldn't make it this weekend, unfortunately. So, yeah, no, it's. I've only been here for what time is it? I've been in here for an hour, and it's quite.
Oh wow, I've been streaming for quite a while.
Have you?
Yeah, for about an hour. Since 10. I've just been kind of going around things, but it's been a lot faster than yesterday.
Who we got in chat?
So it's not many people watching right now. We had Time Roller and we had Josie. But so have you had time to see anything much?
Well, we've seen a few things, but we've been doing videos.
What's your first impressions?
It's an interesting venue. Very echoey and a bit dark, but it's not bad. I don't think it's terrible.
Would you say that this convention, this is maybe putting you on the spot a bit, but Do you think that it can stand tall with the other medium-sized conventions of the UK, namely Dragon Meet, Aircon, Tabletop Scotland?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, that's totally fair.
I can't compare it. Size-wise, is it not too similar for I'm not sure.
Like size-wise, that is the kind of thing. I was looking more for statements about the atmosphere. Like, how do you feel about the compartmentalization of the rooms? Because in a sense, there's quite an interesting, what's round this corner, what's round that corner. And
I think it's
trying to get
takes
myself
some getting used to. Let's put it like that. I think it's. I don't know if they have this convention again, whether they would do it in this venue. Because I'm not sure it's. I don't know. I mean, if you look at things like the expo, you've got aisles and things, which is not too dissimilar. The only difference here is between every aisle, you've got a big brick wall. But that does take away some of the camaraderie, I guess, between the exhibitors. So.
It would be easy to miss someone as well if you don't know exactly where everything is. You're thinking,
I know some people maybe saw the open gaming upstairs and thought that was it. And obviously there are accessibility issues, which the lift has broken down sadly. And it feels like that's not anyone's fault as such, it's just an unfortunate series of events. But I'm going to, this is my final room, I'm going to wander around and hopefully catch up with you in a wee bit.
Bye everyone.
Bye Matt, bye Karen. And that is them from the Offline Gamer. Hello Tom, who says, Holly, and I really enjoyed it yesterday. That's lovely to hear. What was your favourite bits? Here's the shop. Let's go around here. Hello Matt. So we've got Snapshots, which is a game that I've played here. And
That's what you played
a lot of
recently, yeah?
lots of dice rolling, trying to push your luck. It's not my kind of game. I'm just not a fan of anything with dice, is the truth.
That's absolutely
but
fine.
How's it all been for you? How has Paper Boats Games enjoyed the convention? Would you come again?
So this particular convention, it's first time in Manchester, so it's early, so it's finding its feet, I think. So I think there's some work to do to make it better next year. But yeah, absolutely. You know, we need to support the industry, don't we?
Yeah, so you feel like even if you're kind of on the fence, you are more inspired to support those things that are local to you. Are you based near Manchester?
Yeah, so I'm about an hour and a half away from here, just in Yorkshire.
By driving?
So no, I've stayed over there, so I've got friends who live in Manchester, so this is great for me. Yeah,
oh,
so
lovely.
Free accommodation.
Amazing, so you just have to get the tram over, I guess.
Yeah, well no, I drove in literally 20 minutes down the road from where they are, so I'm parked in the car park.
I mean, honestly, where I was, it was an hour by public transport or 20 minutes by car.
All right.
So, and that's an hour by public transport if you get every stop perfectly correct.
Yeah.
So in reality, more like an hour and a half, which is not ideal, but yeah.
Well, you just got to relax, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an exhibitor. That's my joy this year.
All right.
And so I'm interested in hearing how everything is, because I made a choice to be like, yeah, I'm not going to exhibit.
Yeah.
But Tom says the highlight is lots of lovely people is the best part of the convention.
Always, though, isn't it? I mean, this is why we do it, isn't it? For meeting people, sharing our passion. I mean, it's always about the people. I mean, I could do this every day of my life. If I didn't have a real job outside of this, I could do this every day because I love it. Just playing games with people, chatting, and it's a great community, and it's so supportive of each other as well.
And so you are the designer, art director, self-publisher of these games, is that right?
I am a co-designer. There's three of us. There's myself, there's Richard, and there's Marcos who's there. Marcos does all the artwork.
Is Mark happy to be on the camera?
Yeah. Hey, hello.
Hello.
So yeah, Marcos does all of the artwork. He's very talented.
And this is your new game, Cloud Foxes,
yes,
which you
is
can
Cloud
also
Foxes,
see here and on the big banner behind us. If you want to give us a 30-second pitch about your game.
So Cloud Foxes, it's an area control game. It's medium to lightweight, plays in less than an hour. You have flying foxes with pirates on the back, and they are vying to take back control of the islands that they once owned and the humans took from them.
That is awesome. And I think you've got the offline gamer waiting to chat to you.
Well.
And so that does look really cool. And I wish you all the best with it.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good
See you
Sunday.
later.
Bye-bye. So there we've got, hello, more super pretty things. Do you mind me even go on camera? Are you happy with that? So, what's your name
Do you
here?
like this cute?
Pardon?
Do you like this cute?
Gelatinous cubes. And there's a lot of branding. If you see all these little... that's me kind of shimmering them. Because they're wibbly wobbly gelatinous cubes.
Yes.
And you can... So, what is your proudest object, the thing that you're proudest to have made?
These here, which are my award-winning graveyard face displays.
That is fantastic. And how did that feel to win that award?
Oh, so amazing. Really, really good. I'm so proud of it.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of wandering around. So, how many conventions have you been to?
This is I've been doing this about 10 years at other board game other conventions. This is our second board game convention, so
Okay.
yeah.
So, as an exhibitor, you've only been to UK Games Expo and Tabletop Gaming Live.
Yeah.
How has Tabletop Gaming Live been yesterday? Would you come back for it next year?
We're thinking about it. There's a couple of problems, but it's been a good atmosphere.
And if the organisers were to be watching this down the line, because this is live, but it will stay up on YouTube and whatnot, what would you ideally like to be tweaked?
The venue's just not the greatest. It's not accessible upstairs. It's very dark and dingy, and just generally not well set up.
Yeah, I have heard that. It sounded like the lift was kind of no one's fault as such.
Yeah.
It was broken. I mean, there was a lift apparently. It was just
Yeah.
broken. But I've heard conflict. I'm not sure what the story is.
It's an old building. There's no lift.
Okay,
So
there is no lift.
yeah, it's old.
Okay, I heard someone that it was broken, but maybe that's not true.
No, it's not accessible here.
Okay,
Yeah.
like I noticed that they did have a big machine to kind of send people you kind of down, so like there was a bit on the side of the stairs, but then you've got to kind of be reliant on someone there.
Yeah.
And as a person who's mobility impaired, you don't feel empowered. You don't necessarily want to come upstairs. It's like, you know what? I've seen enough stuff down here. I'll stay down here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And they did say that I heard it'll be interesting to see where it goes next year. But I'm eternally hopeful, and I hope that they will be able to find a venue that's right for them.
Yes. Same. Yeah.
Sorry, could you tell
A
us?
better venue would do a lot better for them. More lights, lifts, more disability access, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but UK Games Expo, there's a ramp if you go from, but there's no lifts required and there's no steps required. I mean, there is a ramp from Hall 1 to Hall 2, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that feels like what we kind of need, because things need to be accessible as we move, not just for board games, but as we move into the modern era for everything.
Yeah.
But sorry, what's your name?
I'm Tyne. Tyne. T-Y-N-E.
Tyne. Tyne. Thank you so much.
No worries.
It's been lovely chatting. I am Bez.
Yes.
And if people want to find you online, where would they find you? gelatonouscube.co.uk?
Yeah, Gelatinous Cute on Instagram or TikTok.
Gelatinous Cube. The cutest little gelatinous cube ever.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the award, and I wish you all the best for the Sunday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye. So you've got more lovely models here. Oh, RPG stuff, pretty stuff. Hello, how are you? How has the Saturday been for you? Can I Scott with you? Is that okay?
Okay. Hello there. How's the convention been for us? Pretty good. We've talked to an awful lot of people. We are. Oh, thank you. I get my hat back on. There you go. Now I look much better. So we're Optimus Games, and we make inspiration.
Amazing. And what do you mean by making inspiration?
Shut up.
So cards that's inspired the GMs.
Yeah.
Cards that can give little prompts.
Yeah. It's for that blank point in the game when
If
your
you can
players
pan
go
it
off.
out,
We'll do the close-ups. Haha. There you go. It's all backwards. Help.
It's all good. Thank you.
So yes, 11 decks of fantasy cards and 3 of sci-fi, inspiring GMs in the blank moment when their players go off track, or when somebody turns up and you weren't expecting them and you haven't got a character, and you can just go, you know what, I'll throw a few cards down to get the brain moving. It's very much that same idea that when you write, they tell you scribble something on the page, it doesn't matter what, and then you've not got a blank page anymore, you've got something. And what you end up with can in no way resemble what you dealt. But that's the joy of it. But it gets you past that moment of...
Let me get the Artemis Games logo if I can.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's Artemis, and you basically provide the seeds of the plants of the stories.
Something like that, yeah. We do sell board games and beautiful dice bags and things as well. We have a whole range of gaming accessories. But principally what we do is that inspiration. That's the real fun.
And what have been the highlights of tabletop gaming life for you?
What's been the highlights? I mean, I think we bought a frog. Sorry, I mean that was great.
Frog?
We bought hello frog. Come here, introduce frog. Frog does not yet have a name. Hello frog. We bought a frog, and that was rather fun. We've not actually had a chance to see all that much of it because we've been busy working.
It's the nature of being an exhibitor.
Yeah.
And the luxury of not having to stand is that I get to wander around and chat to people.
Oh well, you know, we both will.
Yes. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't have this encounter. So what's your name?
I'm Ali. Nice to meet you. I will shake an elbow because the hand is busy camera. I take it you have a channel then?
Yes, Stuff by Bears.
Okay.
But, what else? What, if anything, would you ask to be changed? Would you come back next year, do you think?
Are we coming? Well, we're local to Manchester, so for us, what it is an awful lot cheaper than a lot of conventions because we don't have to pay for a hotel.
Right, that's brilliant.
Which is, you know.
So basically, you're definitely coming back next year.
We are probably coming back next year. Next year, one of the things we want to be is we'd love to be on the ground floor because hauling all our kit up here by hand, there was no lift, and all 4 of us are disabled. It's one of the reasons we work for ourselves is because nobody else can employ us. We're all broken. But you're right there.
Yeah.
So we would like to be either downstairs with all the trade stands downstairs and then all the gaming upstairs, or if we have to have some more upstairs, at least you walk through the shops to get to the gaming hall, because
seeing the open gaming first maybe turns people away and makes
well,
them
it
think
means
it's
they
the
stop
end.
there. They go and they play a game and they stop there, and a lot of people have never made it this far. They didn't. I mean, I don't know if they didn't realise there were more shops, but somebody came around earlier on that said, "Oh, I was here yesterday. I didn't realise there was another hall up here. I haven't looked round." And one can very much see that there will be people who get as far as the lecture room and the gaming hall, and they don't get any further. So we want to try and talk to them about maybe swapping some things around so that it's more...
I think that it's clear that there will be small tweaks to the venue.
I think it's the first time they've done it here, so it's always going to be a bit of a learning experience.
Ali, it's been lovely chatting, and I wish you all the best for the Sunday.
It's all right. If you've got a minute, come and visit us at Artemis Games. We have Facebook and things like that. Can I? That way up. That way up. Sorry. Come and visit us at Artemis Games. And we're on the Facebook and Twitter and all the rest of the random media and things. And say hi.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
And I'm going to keep wandering round. This is one I'm totally unfamiliar with. Heroes of the Shire. I didn't get as far as here yesterday, to be honest. So I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like some sorts of CCG. Got... Hello, how are you doing? generally well. I see that you've got some caffeine drinks. Is that what's going on?
It's a health potion.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's an energy drink. So there's no sugar. It's all natural colours and flavours. There is a bit of a high caffeine content in there. So we do kind of cater towards gamers, but also we do cater towards professionals as well.
So,
Have you got any questions for me that would you like to try?
sure, I'll have a sip. I assume these shots are for
Get you a fresh one, Steel. We'll get you a fresh one.
Okay.
We'll just
So
do this
those
up.
are just visual
They're
things.
just visual because we want people to come over and try our food tasters. We'll get you a fresh one made.
Okay, so what? There's two different things.
So there's two different
Cosmic
flavours.
blue raspberry.
So there's Cosmic Blue Raspberry, and there's also a fruit punch. There you are.
Thank you very much. So I'll try this one first. So this is Cosmic blue this is fruit
That's the
punch. Sorry, So this has, what does it have in it?
It's got orange, pineapple, and lime.
It's thicker than I imagined. It's sweeter. I mean, it does have that.
Natural taste.
It does taste surprisingly not as artificial as I was expecting.
And that's how we designed the product. We try to make it as subtle and as refreshing as possible.
Thank you so much. This is the
It's just
blue.
raspberry. This is blue raspberry.
And what's the colouring here?
It's blue. It's blue. It's natural blue spirulina.
Wow, that tastes really good. That tastes. It reminds me of. Did you say spirulina?
Yes.
Is that the seaweed?
Yeah, spirulina seaweed.
Yes. Because I was going to say it really reminds me of that seaweedy, fishy taste. Not that it tastes fishy, but you know what I mean. The raspberry is quite subtle, but there's a lot of sweetness in here. Like it definitely comes through. Are there other berries as well?
No, it's just the raspberry, So we've only got two flavours at the moment. We have a third flavour incoming soon.
And the idea is that people mix them together.
Yes.
And all of these mixed up, you get it with a powder, and you scoop the right amount.
You'll scoop it inside, you'll scoop it in a shaker, you'll mix it with water and you'll shake.
And if you don't have a shaker, you can use a long spoon and
You can, yes. But we always recommend to have it in a shaker because the particles of the powder might go to the bottom. So it's always better to shake. You can always have it in a cup, fine, and you can always stir it.
So, what's the benefits of something like this? Presumably it's not just for the taste you're marketing, it's for the health benefits.
It is.
So
there's a lot of vitamins and minerals in there. And there's a lot of the omega-5 in the day. There's also nootropics in there. So it has got the caffeine which gives you that alertness. It's also got nootropics which helps with stress and anxiety as well.
I mean, at the same time, if you're able to get through life without the caffeine, isn't it always better to go without?
It is. But once you get older like me, sometimes if you have kids and you're a little bit drained at home, or you get that mental block at work, or you get university, you get that mental block. Sometimes you need that,
And the important thing is to be aware when you need it and when it's not good for you.
Exactly.
So you don't
only take it when you need it, yes. And we only recommend to have 2 scoops a day because in the UK, recommended daily intake is 400 milligrams, and each scoop is 150 milligrams. So only recommend 2 a day.
Okay. And how has Tabletop Gaming Live been for you?
It's been good. It's been good.
It's
our first one.
So it's called Player Ammo.
Yes.
Presumably, by your logo, I assume it's more based on video gamers.
It is.
But you've decided to brand out into board games.
Yes.
And so, how has this convention been? Is this your first
It's been
board
okay.
gaming
It's our
convention?
first one. It's been okay. We've had a good response. We get a lot of people coming and speaking to us. We are a bit unique in this environment. There isn't any other one like us.
I agree. There's like lots of people selling pretty things, selling games, and then what the bleep is
We're
this?
random. We're just like, whoa, what are these guys doing here? So yeah, it's been good. We've had a good response. Community, really love speaking to us, which is good. And we'd like to get our brand out as well, and our brand name out. Hopefully we can come into the tabletop.
Okay. And of course, just because I just want to make it clear that yes, these things I can say they tasted nice, but I'm not, doesn't mean that I recommend it or anything. I've not done my own research.
And that's the main thing.
But if you want to do your own research, LinkedIn, presumably Player Ammo on Google, check it out, and you'll be in all the places.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you for
Thank you
chatting,
for your time.
and I'll go say thank you.
Thank you for your time.
And we've got a couple of people here from Red Shuffle and Roll who have had on the channel. You might remember them before from the Red House board games, and if that's something that you're interested in. Hello Glenn, hello Jen, are you happy to be on camera? So I'm doing very well, and how's the convention been for you?
It's been really good, yeah. It's only our second convention that we've been to, and it's a bit quieter than UK Games Expo. But
Of course, I mean, UK Games Expo is the biggest in the UK, so...
Yeah, but it's still been really good. We've had a lot of really positive engagement, so it's been really, really exciting.
And will you be back again next year, do you think?
I think so, yeah. It's obviously a slow starter in the mornings, but yesterday it was fairly busy in the afternoon, so happy enough, yeah.
I think it's not one where people are rushing to get in, and I wish you all the best for your Sunday, and maybe have you back on the channel for a more leisurely stream sometime. But see you in a wee bit. Got some beautiful miniatures here, and some leather armor, and wow, looks super cool. Hello. I'm doing well, how are you? Are you? And of course, we met. Are you happy to be chat for a minute? Sorry, what's your name again?
I'm Jay. Jay.
Jay, yes, sorry. And you have your other helper, your partner, who's
That was me.
B, yes. And we met in Fanboy Free a few years ago, just before the pandemic. I believe it might have been 2019, in fact. And you make beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
I will notice that your best thing, the bag with the eyes on it.
Oh, not got that one with me today.
Ah, but you do have some gorgeous stuff here that people can check out. And if people want to check you out online, where do you like to be found?
Oh, just find me. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at the Company Merchant.
Yeah. And how has the day been for you? Would you come back next year? Really? Even though you're based in Manchester?
Yep. It's the people that like the customers have been great. Unfortunately, the organisers not so much.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What could be done to make it better?
They could sort out the layout. That'd be a lot better. As you can see, it's quite dark in here for the products. There's no lift, so we're on the first floor. We have lots of disabled people in our community. We have lots of people that need crutches and stuff. Even the stall holders. Some people couldn't run their stall because they literally couldn't get stuff up the stairs. So we got products to lift.
It is problematic. I hear that there's a lot of miscommunication going on between the venue and the organisers, and potentially the organisers. But like, I'm fingers crossed it will be sorted out for next year, and there will be a better venue or changes made that make it something that everyone would be excited to get behind.
I mean, the people that are coming in, like the customers, are fantastic. Like, we love nerds, you know, we're all nerds, we love it.
And I asked yesterday 6 random people, 5 of them had never been to a convention before.
Amazing, yeah.
And I wish you all the best. I hope that it's a decent. I'm sorry, I'm elbowing. But I wish you all the best for your Sunday. See you later.
See you later, man.
So that is that. And here we've got Board Game Hub with Tusky Joe's Snorkel Adventure, which is one that I've not played, but I've heard the explanation of. Are you the designer?
I'm not the designer, no. Peter is the publisher.
Yes. Are you happy to be on camera for a minute?
Yeah.
Maybe. Wait. Oh, it's lit up. I hope that that's good enough. So, how has yesterday been? Would you come again?
Possibly. I didn't sell anything, but we were busy all day doing playtests and demos. So
That's fantastic.
That's good. We're really happy.
And you're basically doing live development.
Yes.
Can you hand me a sheet?
Yeah.
What's this called again?
So this is Rift Valley Reserve.
Rift Valley Reserve, which is essentially a think and write.
Think and write, if you want to call it that. We're calling it Play and Pass.
Yes, I'm still calling it a think and write. I don't care what the publisher says. It's like a roll and write, but I guess it depends what you want to focus on, because there's two interesting things here. One is that there's zero randomness, because all the decisions come from the thoughts of the player and the chaos of the other players. And the second interesting thing is the passing around. And personally, I had seen the passing around before. I can't think of any published games, I will admit, but I've seen a lot of people working on that. But it's the thinking and writing aspect, which for me was the real novel bit. And so it's also down to the consumer, which of these two bits, maybe it should be a think and, what did you call it?
Play and pass. Because you take your move and you pass it on to the next player.
Yeah, it's interesting, like as a publisher, you have to decide, would you agree that there's kind of two things that you could focus on here?
My perspective on this one is that because I like the mechanic of the passing around thing, that's probably more what draws me to this. And I saw this and I thought, I think there's a series of games in this. If we focus on the aspect of you take a move and you pass it and you're playing on a lot of boards simultaneously, then we could take that idea and we could run with it with future games. So I was kind of like,
So you're looking now for future games, if there's other designers, or if, there was a designer talking to you right now, potentially.
What, you mean Richard?
Exactly. Then you might be on the lookout for games that might have some randomness, might have something else going on there.
As long as you're taking a move and then passing a board on, I'll be happy.
Okay. And presumably that board, it's easier if you're drawing on it, because if you've got bits on it, then it's kind of a bit shiggly.
Yeah.
Things
I
are
think
going to
looking
fall
at drawing.
over. Yeah.
It works, doesn't it? You draw on the paper, you pass it around.
And I'm not going to get into all the rules. It looks like there have been quite a few changes, but you're basically connecting stuff with your own colours, and other people are going to be blocking you. Everyone plays with their own colour, that's important. That's why you've got different colour markers.
That's it, yeah. And we're playtesting the asymmetrical sides, so you've got double-sided boards. Everybody plays the same board on side A. When you've got the hang of the game, flip it over, and these boards are radically different.
Ooh.
So that one you just had no water and no elephants. What you got there? And not many animals in that one, but lots of things blocking. So you've got forest and you've got water that are getting in the way.
And then what do the green and grey bits do?
So the grey is just your starting rift as per the normal game. Green is trees.
Let's assume that people don't know the rules.
So basically, at the start of the game, you highlight it in your colour, and that gives you an advantage on that home board that only you can cross the rift. Nobody else can go across them. This one you got more elephants. Look, they're all hanging around the
So
water.
because you do have that home board advantage, they do need to be balanced, but
to a certain degree, they kind of self-balance it because you're playing all of them. As long as there isn't a massive advantage playing first on each.
well, as long as the rift advantage isn't too big an advantage.
Absolutely. So that's why we're testing them. There's a
Yeah,
couple of
because
tweaks.
like if there was something where here I noticed the rift's more in the middle, there the rift is more on the outside.
So there's less reward around that rift, so it's interesting. Yeah, they do need somewhat balancing. Yeah.
And yeah, this is a kind of thing where I guess there's a lot of development that still can be done.
Sure.
And I am going to actually, can we go this way just because it's terrible lighting that way? Yeah, now we are super bright. We're basically white out. We're totally white, like a ghost. So I can go on record and saying I really like this game. And when is it going to be on? Are you going to go in Kickstarter as you've done with your previous stuff?
Looking at Game Found for this one, hopefully before the end of the year. And we'll definitely be getting a quick from this.
Is this your Game Found? I mean, first Game Found is what
it would be, yeah.
What made you move away from Kickstarter?
There's a number of things, a number of reasons. I expect it to be a smaller campaign anyway. It's going to be really self-contained. It's not going to be any stretch goals, nothing like that. It's going to be a very straightforward campaign. And we'll still be fulfilling Tranquility of the Ascent. So I'm kind of like, which was on Kickstarter. So let's leave that with Kickstarter. Let's go and use GameFound. And I like the concept of a system purposely designed for gaming crowdfunding. So I want to give it a try.
And so that's really exciting. And when it comes out, I will happily, remind me, and I'll happily tweet it and say to everyone, this is a game that I've played, and when I played it, just for me, what I really liked and what you didn't like was a two-player game.
Oh no, I like the two-player game. I prefer the five-player game, but I enjoy
I prefer the two-player
too. I love that controlled chaos of the five players.
I love that planning ahead and working out, okay, if they do that, then I do that, then they do that, then I do that.
You still have that in the five-player game, but it's a lot harder to do it successfully. You have to...
Well, you only get to play one out of every 5 things.
But you're still planning ahead.
You are planning ahead, yes, but there's a lot more chance of you being blocked, and because it's not a zero-sum game, if someone blocks you, it's like, okay, it's kind of almost often by chance that they block you.
Possibly, but I think you need to be a better player in the five-player game. With 2 players,
Ooh,
you get your board back.
Words.
You get your board back every other go. You can tell almost exactly half the time what your opponent's going to do. Five-player game, a good player is making contingencies, giving themselves options, making sure that they don't get easily blocked. And so I'm not bragging.
So am I just a player that doesn't leave room for those contingency plans? Am I a human that just relies too much on plan A working out, that I don't have the plan B, plan C? Is this a lesson for life? I mean, I'm not saying...
Don't ask me.
This is me soul searching. This is me wondering, maybe I need to do more plan B and plan C in life. Right. I feel like there's a life lesson in there for me. Wow.
You're welcome.
Rift Valley Reserve. A life lesson.
Just a game. Not just a game, a way of being.
Wow. This is deep. So thank you very much. And you said you will probably be back. You've enjoyed your development.
Yeah.
You've gotten lots of good playtesting. It's been valuable. You've gotten lots of fresh eyes on it. Presumably lots of people playing in ways that are a little bit of a surprise.
Not as surprising as when you played it, but yeah.
Okay.
You really pushed the potatoes.
Oh. Well, I was playing as I would play in real life.
No, you were brilliant. We played it 5 times in a row and you did things I've never seen before. Or since.
Well, it's a lovely game and I look forward to it. When can people expect it?
Before the end of the year.
Awesome. And when can people expect it in their hands?
By the summer next year. Yeah.
Next year sometime. I mean, the world is a chaotic place. And that's what we've learned with Rift Valley Reserve. You cannot plan for the summer, but you need to have a plan B, maybe even a plan C.
I guess plan B is Essen. Plan C, Christmas.
Excellent. But all the best for
Thank you, Bez. Nice to see
Sorry,
you.
what's
I'm Richard Woods.
Richard, Bez, Steve Funky, and lots of love. Carrying on, there is lots of pretty things here. It's starting to busy up. There is Tom Lovewell. Hello, Tom. I'm doing very well. Don't worry, I won't get your face on this, but are you having a good day?
It's a good day, yes. Yeah.
Awesome. I will leave you to it. Stay funky. Lots of things being enjoyed. Oh, hello. How are you?
All right, thank you. Hello.
I'm just.
Are we live?
We are live.
Hello. How are we doing? Who we got in there? Do I know any of this lot?
We've got Tom Cauldron, Josie. Yeah. We've just got a couple of people watching at the minute.
Yeah.
So this is the editor of Tabletop Gaming Magazine.
Can we stand in front of the Beyond Capitalism?
Sure.
Because Mr. Chris Lowry over here, he also writes for the magazine as well. This man here who will talk forever if you put a camera in. I'm a bit worried. You're live on the internet.
I'm live at the moment. If you come to a gaming convention and you get stuck and lost and scared, then you can play this stupid game about being stuck at a gaming convention.
I've heard about that. How are you feeling? So did you have a lot to do with setting up the convention?
Yes, I lifted a lot of tables.
I heard the main complaints I've heard from exhibitors is the lift issue. And from the punters as well, the two things that I've heard are the lack of a lift and the slightly dim lighting in some areas.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds like there was a lot of communication problems with the venue.
Yes. Well, I'm probably not going to have this conversation live on the internet.
That's also fair.
But generally speaking, we were promised a lift. And then we didn't get one.
So you don't want to talk about future plans or future venues or anything right now?
We need to get feedback from everyone here.
Okay.
So we're going to listen to everyone and see.
Given who you are, let's talk about it in a more positive way.
Let's get my face in as well. Right?
Oh, sorry, I'm
You were
getting
giving me
tired
you were giving me a
after
hair-
1.5
You were
hours.
giving me a haircut.
Let's go like that.
Yeah.
So, what are you proudest of out of everything that's here?
Okay, so I've been saying to people, when people say, oh, it's not my first rodeo. Right? This is my first rodeo. I've been in the magazine 3 years. It's the first time I've been able to run an event. So just the fact that we're all here, we're all happy. Did you see Open Game last night? It was rammed. The workshops were a huge success. Did you see the Kit Dashing workshop?
I did not,
Kit
but
Dashing workshop is incredible.
I spoke to James Wallace, who was very happy with the attendance.
Yes, yeah. We've got Chris McDowell coming later as well, so you can do the RPG in an afternoon thing. If you're in Manchester, pop on down. See you in a bit.
There's still time to get over, right?
Yeah.
What's the price for just Sunday? Do you know offhand?
I think it's a tenner.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah. You can do a quick whip round.
And there's plenty of space. And what I've liked as a punter is that I'm able to walk around and have conversations and get stuck into games. There is a lot to see.
Yeah. We've had a few tables. Sorry, I'm quite tired. Exhibitors who have been they were booked up all through yesterday for their demo games, and then having to come in today. So I had to play the excellent King of Monster Island, which is brand new. It's brilliant. It's not another just King of Tokyo redone. It's a fully good for a start, and it's really deep. They've added so much.
I'm not familiar with that. Is that being demoed down in Asmodee?
It's on Paul Springer at the back of Asmodee.
Okay, so is that a new thing from Richard Garfield?
Yes, yeah. It looks like they've really revamped it. You need to go have a look.
I will, definitely. Yesterday, to be honest, I was just having chatting to everyone, but it finishes fairly, soon, but 4:30 p.m. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
And it is honestly a joy to be here. And one thing that I think you should be proud of is that in the queue yesterday, I asked 6 people. 5 of them had never been to a convention before.
That's right. Yes.
So you are bringing a convention to a city that doesn't really have a convention status.
Yes. That's a really good answer. That's what I should have said to you.
And are you feel free to not answer. Are you happy that you moved out of Alicante?
I think so. Yeah.
Can you go into the reasons for that at all?
Why did we move from London?
Yes.
Generally.
Yeah.
We want to take an opportunity. COVID was a bit of a break for a lot of things. The pandemic lockdowns were. And so
you reevaluated everything. You were like,
you
just assumed.
You just look at it and you say, this is an opportunity to try something new. And as you say, we looked and we said, is there a convention this side of Pennines? So obviously there's on the other side. And we thought, do you know what? Manchester's cool. Let's try it. Let's try it. So yeah, we thought we'd just give it a go. And I think it's paid off. I think it's gone quite well.
Now, I'm not going to push you. I'm not going to push you. I will happily ask you, but I won't push you for any details for 2023, 2024. But
I don't know what time it is, so don't ask me next year.
I was going to ask, presumably it's definitely happening next year.
I think so,
And the year thereafter, at what point do you say we are committed for at least this? Is there a number of years that you're committed to run it right now?
We run it every year that we can. Yeah. I mean, it's weird because obviously coming out of the pandemic stuff.
You never know what might happen. There might be another pandemic.
So you suddenly become. I might sound unsure, but that's just because we've had 2 years of uncertainty, and
it's been a ridiculous time, and not just pandemic, but also. Weird question. Has Brexit affected you at all?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because it's affected me.
Well,
like
yeah,
as a,
sorry. In terms of shipping and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Yes, VAT's a big deal.
What?
But we don't want to talk about VAT on the stream.
That's not tabletop gamer like. That's not your main market. It's mainly people in the UK enjoy things. And final question: if people want to check me out on the internet, where would you like to be found?
Tabletopgaming.co.uk. If you want to see us in the flesh, come down today. We're at Victoria Warehouse in Manchester, and the coffee's very good.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, bye. See you
It's
then.
lovely to chat. See you. And here is Crab Studios, who I have met a few times. Are you happy to chat a wee bit?
Yeah, no worries.
We've met in Glasgow. Do you remember?
Yeah, we met in Glasgow. I think that was 2019, wasn't it?
Yes, that was the last time it ran.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And how has it been for you? Will you be back next year if something happens?
Well, I don't know about Glasgow because.
No, I mean.
Here. Yeah, probably because it's been weird because you probably felt the same, but the vibe is very, very different compared to like most events.
It's a very unique venue.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Well, honestly, like for example, you were at Tabletop Scotland as well 2 weeks ago, right? I don't know if you felt the same thing, but even though the footfall has been about the same, like sales-wise, we're doing quite well. Like yesterday, we made more money here than we did in the 2 days of Tabletop Scotland.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, congratulations. And where are you based?
We're based in Huddersfield, so again, it's really, really close to here.
So are you just driving in each day?
Yeah. So that's the thing, like, because with Tabletop Scotland, I think our overheads were something ridiculous, like 600 quid because of like petrol, especially in the moment, the hotels, that sort of thing. But here it's really good.
No, it's really nice. And what would you say was your highlight? Was there a particular demo, someone making a clever move, something that you're like, oh, I love that?
Well, something which is great is actually I've got landscape at the demo area, which will be like the game library. And so whenever I walk past the game library, I just check whether landscape is at the table or not. And if it's not, then I look around the tables and then I see people playing it. Like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm just watching them. They have no idea that I'm watching them. They're just laughing and having fun, and it's great. So that's probably the highlight.
So particularly because it's not you, and you feel. Do you mind if I come round?
Yes.
And as a fellow game designer, I know that when I'm there and I'm demoing the game and people are enjoying it, I feel like, okay, maybe it's just because I'm there.
Yeah, exactly.
But then when people are enjoying it themselves, it's, yes, people enjoy it even when I'm not there, and that's incredibly validating.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you feel like there's a bit of an ego in your games? Like a bit of, I want people to have fun, but I want that fun to be because of me?
No, kind of, yeah, definitely. Especially with landscape. Because landscape, again, it was almost like the aim with landscape was to basically take the idea of Coup, which is one of the best-selling games of all time, a very bluffing game, and then, in my opinion, make it better. So it was very much like an ego sort of thing. Like I love Coup, but I know how to improve upon it. And basically, with landscape, what I did is I got rid of the player elimination, which if you haven't played Coup before, like that's probably the worst part of Coup, is engaging with the game, getting knocked out early, and then watching other people have fun. And I think that a lot of people sort of recognise that as well. And so that's one of the reasons why I love people love watching people play landscape.
So that's fantastic, and congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm really curious to give it a go myself. I'll be back later, but all the best for the rest of the convention.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, what's your name again?
Niall.
Niall.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Niall. Final question: if people want to find you on the internet,
just niallcrabtree.com is probably the best place to find me. But also you can. That's also
Niall Crabtree. I'm just showing your name. niallcrabtree.com, and so check that out, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
And got a lot of wee indie RPGs here, a lot of pretty stuff here, a lot of beautiful dice, and whoops. Check that out. That is gorgeous.
Thank you.
And
These are all handmade by me.
Well done. And how has tabletop gaming live been for you?
Okay, yeah, we've done quite well. It's our first con.
From your
so that's
accents,
very
are
exciting.
you from around here?
I'm from Leeds.
Okay, so is that a short drive in?
Yeah, it's about an hour and 15 away, just across the Pennines.
So you're just kind of driving in each day?
No, we're staying here with a fellow trader. Actually.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That's very convenient. So would you be back next year, do you think?
Yes, so.
Awesome.
So we've really enjoyed it.
Well, it's lovely to meet you.
Yes,
and I hope you have. Would you care to share any highlights actually from the convention? Any lovely people, hellos, or?
Yes, I've met the lovely Rich from Hatchling Games downstairs, who's wonderful. We're working with them as well on the Dragon Dowser It's funding that's coming up.
Nice.
We've got How to Be a Great GM just there, who have been absolutely lovely neighbours.
Oh yes, good neighbours are very important.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been wonderful, and everyone, to be honest, has been lovely.
And if people want to check you out, where would you like to be found?
So you can find us at our website, which is www.runefable.com, and on our social medias just there.
Well, it's lovely to meet you.
Yes, and you.
Bye for here you see. Hello. Would you like to chat for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm not super familiar with this. I see that you've got this book, A Practical Guide to Being a Great GM. And I assume that the author, Guy Splanders, is that you?
That's me.
Are you Guy Splanders? Are you the Guy Splanders who wrote this book?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely, yeah. So I wrote all of these books, as a matter of fact.
Guy Splanders, apparently. I mean, are you sure you're not just impersonating the real Guy Splanders?
I think I'd choose someone slightly more competent to impersonate if I was going to.
I mean, this may or may not have been written by Guy Splanders.
It may or may not have been.
It depends who you believe.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm banding about your books willy-nilly. I hope that's
That's
okay.
all right. Yeah. So
Do you mind if I come round?
No, for sure. Do you do much role playing?
I do not. The truth is, I'm more of a board gamer than a role player.
Yes.
But I did play a bit of Role Master, and I ran an All Flesh Must Die, All Flesh Must Be Eaten campaign. And yeah, I did a bit of Call of Cthulhu and D&D, and but yeah, I've enjoyed a wee bit of indie RPGs, but not as much as I would like. It's always time, isn't it?
Time is always a problem.
And people. I mean, if I could find people to do it with in the middle of the day, that would be the best.
Correct. No, absolutely. I agree with you. I think, like any hobby, you choose what you're spending your time on. And so there we are. I've obviously... still right there. Yeah, so I have been doing role-playing for a very long time. And this is the result of that.
So this is your... So if people are looking to be an adequate GM, is this book for them? Because it says how to be a great GM. What if I'm like, I don't need to be I just need to be adequate.
So the whole term of being a great GM is, in this case, it's not as if you are better than anybody else. This is more a case of being a GM who's enjoying what they do, and who's having fun with what they do, and who doesn't see it as a intimidating process or as a piece of work that has to be done.
Okay, so it's more about almost relishing the moment.
Yes.
And relishing the activity.
Correct. Because I grew up going, the Dungeon Master or the Game Master is almost responsible for the enjoyment of everybody at the table.
Yes.
And has the burden and the responsibility of making the game good.
Well,
and that's wrong.
I think that you have to have the responsibility, but if it becomes a burden, that's wrong.
Correct. There are a lot of responsibilities that you do have, but I maintain that those responsibilities are shared between the DM and the players. So the books, the practical guide,
it's about empowering your players as well.
It's empowering everybody. So the first few chapters is just on empowering you as a creator. How does your imagination work? How do you tell a story? Because we all tell stories in different ways. and understanding the different ways, you can then draw on strengths, but also developing your imagination, but developing it specifically with the idea of running a game or being a storyteller requires a different kind of approach. And so that's just the first quarter, the third of the book. Then the second half is about creating a game that is going to help you.
Your maths doesn't add up.
No, that's why none of this is the accountant's guide to being a great GM. This is all being a great GM telling the stories and not maths.
Okay, so if you want a guide on how to do maths, look
do not come here. No, absolutely not. Definitely not.
Guy, it's been a pleasure talking. I don't want to stop you from engaging with people.
I appreciate
But
anyway,
I want to ask you, what have been the highlights of yesterday?
as with any convention, meeting the locals. I love traveling around. I get to go all over the world.
Where are you based?
I'm based in London. I used to be in Tokyo. I used to be in Johannesburg. So I'm all over. But just meeting the local Mancurians.
Is that where you grew up in South America?
South
Africa?
Africa. Yeah, South Africa.
Sorry.
No. But just meeting people is it's lovely because as much as I've written all of this material, I still learn every time I speak to someone something new, and they bring their own perspective, and I'm absolutely adore it.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, that's why we come here, to meet people and talk and learn and engage.
Do you think you'll be here again next year if it runs?
I definitely think we'll be here next year.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And if someone wants to buy your book, to check it out, if they're watching at home, maybe watching after the fact,
yes.
Where would you like to be found, and how much will people have to pay for one of these books?
So there's a special price for the show here today, but if you just type in Great GM into Google, you will find me. I've been around long enough, so that's what happens. Otherwise, greatgamemaster.com.
Greatgamemaster.com.
That's it.
And it's been a pleasure, and speak to you later.
Lovely. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. And can I leave this here for just a moment?
Yes, of course.
And I'm just going to walk around the final couple of spots. So here we've got more super pretty things. Games Master Session Planner, where presumably it's going to have some notebooks and little ideas of what to work out. And super pretty stickers. Check them out. Hello. Do you mind if I come round for 1 minute?
That's fine.
Whoops. And what has been the highlights of Tabletop Gaming Live Saturday for you?
So it's just been great to get to know so many people. There's an awful lot of female game developers here as well that we've been able to get in touch with. So it's been great to have the atmosphere of everyone just around and all that. Yeah.
Lovely. Sorry, it's just making sure that the light is okay.
Yeah, we've been backlit throughout the entire convention. No one can see our stuff at the moment.
I mean, it's a very good angle from here. We kind of. Sorry. There we go. Looking dicey. And do you think we'll be back here again next year?
Yeah, we're hoping to get about double the space for next year because we'll be launching our own two-player TTRPG next year as well, so we'll have that for everyone.
Two-player TTRPGs are not the most common. It feels like one player
or 3 plus kind of thing.
Exactly.
And as
So is
someone
that you kind of trying to fill in the niche?
Kind of, yeah, but we are a couple ourselves that set up this, and we're constantly trying to find games that are for 2 players so we can just play them on an evening.
Are you a romantic couple and a gaming couple?
Yes, and I've got a sibling as well, and we grew up having trouble finding anyone else who joined in with games with us, so we want to make sure that there are TTRPGs out there where it's not just one player plays the GM and one player plays the player, and then you're bickering over who gets to play, kind of thing.
I mean, I've heard of people growing up, decades ago in the 80s, who actually one player was the GM for D&D back when that was the only thing that existed, but we have other options now, and people are making more and more niche things. So it's like, if you want a tabletop RPG for a very specific purpose, you can get it. And if you would like to check it out, where on the internet? Is this your card?
So we're Fights and Fancy at fightsandfancy.co.uk. We do a load of...
and there's a scratch thing. I want to scratch that.
So we do a load of accessible D&D accessories and TTRPG accessories. We've redesigned an awful lot of the character sheets so that they are ease of accessibility for new players, players with learning disabilities, and an awful lot clearer and better organised for old-time players as well.
That's awesome. And if you have any final words, firstly about Tabletop, just anything to Tabletop game players out there, do you have anything that you'd like to say?
Mainly just take the leap, have a good time, and just don't sweat the small stuff.
Awesome. Sorry, what is your name?
My name's Poppy.
Poppy.
Yes.
And I am Bez, and it's been lovely to meet you.
Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you. And finally, we come to critical kits, which have lots of dice as well, and critical kits, lots of wee bits, and that is a look at. Wow, that's been 2 hours of me wandering around. That's been a really long stream considering it's been on the road. So yeah, if you want to, I guess I'll talk about the debrief, but I'm going to sign off now. What do I normally ask? Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. Question of the day is, when was the last time that you touched a brick wall? I'm going to go off and touch one right now. But before right now, the last time I touched a brick wall would have been possibly years ago. I feel like there's a lot of value in just touching things and feeling things. When was the last time you touched a brick wall? Let me know in the comments. Other than that, over to you. What are you up to? You can share button if you want to. What are you up to? What are you going to be doing today? I'm going to be signing off, going to the loo, playing a few games, chatting a bit. Looking forward to having a great day here, going back to be with my friends, and to recap and wrap up before we finish up, lots of stuff over at Tabletop Gaming Live. Glad I came, and it's been lots of lovely chats, lots of people selling lots of lovely things, and it is all about the people. For now, bye bye, bye bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye.